Good evening. How are you doing today? So today's message is kind of just a quick, short, really a reminder for most of you. It's a reminder in the light of a lot of the mainstream narratives right now, and we've really been seeing this for the last, couple of years. But for those of you who are tuned into current events, what's happening in the world, different parts of the world, it's just a reminder that it's good to be aware and aware of what's going on in the world, but a reminder that it isn't the most powerful thing, I guess, to just be aware of what's happening without bringing the attention back to your own vibration. So message today is reminding you of the power of staying outside of the fear vibration. So I know you don't need me to tell you that the mainstream narratives are very much centered around creating division, creating fear. And some of what I've been tapping into recently is when I check, because when you watch like YouTube videos or you watch people's opinions or behind the scenes information, and we're seeing a lot of alternative news and things like that, it's very hard to know what's true and what isn't. So sometimes I do this a lot less now, but when I tune in to some messages or something, it's rare for me now. When I do, I notice how it feels in my body, and if I'm in doubt, I've been asking my guides to kind of confirm, right, is there truth to this? Is this a higher perspective? And what I've learned more and more over maybe the last year is when you're tuning into something, whatever the information is, if it's starting to create like that fear in your body or a lot of tension and stress, just notice that and just be aware that most likely you're not tapping into a higher frequency. So this is not about whether the information is correct or not, but it's sometimes it's being delivered with, there is some accuracy in some of the perspectives being shared, but the frequency is very low. And what that does is it creates an energy in our body. So it's just a reminder, like sometimes it's hard to know what's true, what's not. Is this putting us into fear deliberately, as a lot of mainstream narratives of course are, or is this just causing a reaction in us, but yet it's true? Like, how to decipher that. So the best I feel is what I'm practicing and what I'm guided as well is to just hold on, I got cut off there. Yeah, is to tune into the information, how it makes you feel, because if you're aware that it's starting to cause you to contract and stress out, hi Darren, it's going to lower your vibration and frequency. So just on that one, it doesn't mean that we've got to stay in a high frequency and vibration by being happy and like cheery all the time. Sometimes we will feel those feelings, but just be mindful of what you're tuning into. Because I know a lot of people who maybe you don't watch the mainstream news, right? But even so, you're still going to be tuning into messages. Notice that we've got adverts pumping information, subliminal bullshit. We've got radio, little messages in the background. We've got all sorts of things kind of seeping into our consciousness. So it's so important. And I know that as I'm saying this, most of you that are tuning into my messages, you're already aware of this, but see this as more of a reminder and a recap, because sometimes we forget and we come out of that and then we start getting into some of these narratives, right? And I've done it myself. So nothing scares me anymore, Darren. Not anymore. Yeah, sometimes. And also because you've probably done a lot of looking at everything, that's probably, you've come through that, right? Because I know you've been from the beginning, you've been onto everything, this is sometimes not the case for everyone. Like sometimes we're on different levels of the journey, and you might find yourself dipping into things and dipping out of things. And for some people, when you're just discovering certain pieces of what's really going on in the world, it can bring up fear and confusion and chaos and those feelings. So wherever you are on the journey, that's okay, but just remember that really everything out there, majority of mainstream news and storylines, they're very much designed to scare the crap out of you, right? Whether that's rising costs, fuel prices, wars, certain, viruses, or whatever you want to call, just know that, they are doing that. And even if we don't believe them, we can still be picking the vibrations up. We can still be lowered by it. Like, even I know a lot of people on here who I'm connected with, you're sharing lots of articles, you're sharing lots of things, which is fine if that, check in how that feels for you. But a lot of people are still doing it from a place of, they're getting very stressed about it. They're sharing what they would call truths, but they're getting very worked up, they're getting very down about it, they're getting very depressed sometimes. This is all part of the journey, but just kind of tune in and ask yourself, how much time are you focusing on it? Because I tell you, there's one thing to be informed and aware, but wherever we put our attention, it grows and it grows. So I know if I tuned into all these things every day, I'd feel very low and down, and like it would feel very hard to create and feel magical and expansive. It would feel very hard to work on my own development. At the same time, personally, this is just me, I like to know what's going on, but I kind of do both, because some people are kind of the mind they don't want to look at all, and that's okay, that's where they're at. But I'm a believer that we need to know what's going on. We do need to see. So there needs to be an element of, maybe it's reading or watching or listening and just keeping kind of an eye out to what's going on. Because how can we create better if we have no idea what the problems are? So I am a believer of that. So the way I try and do it is keep an eye on it, but I kind of tip the balance, and I definitely overall spend much more time focused on what I feel strong about, what I want to create, where I want my energy to go, what kind of world I'm here to create and participate in. And that outweighs when I do look in and see, oh, what bullshit is being shared today? Oh, what are they saying about this theme here? And sometimes I'll actively go and look, but to stay out of fear and know that we are creating our own realities. So even if collectively we're seeing certain energies, which we are in certain parts of the world, we are still creating our own responses, our own vibrations. So it's so important. So it's just a reminder, because sometimes we just need to kind of reset ourselves, remind ourselves, connect in with each other, and remind each other that we are here and we are doing it, even though sometimes it looks like nothing's changed, right? So that's just what the message was for today. Darren stepped on a big screw today. Oh, bleeding. Just stayed calm, not worried as usual. Ouch though. So relaxed about the world now. Yeah, after a big old stepping on a big screw. That gives you some perspective. Oh, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. Yeah, so you're saying it actually makes, not the foot, but all of this makes you stronger, right? Yeah. And a reminder that sometimes we feel like, oh my God, nothing's changing, everything's changing. I can assure you of that. I see it and I sense it and I feel it. I know a lot of you do. I also have the ability to be able to channel, so that really helps me, and that's why I want to share it with you as well. I often tap in and I ask my guides, okay, what's going on? They're always telling me that time scales are difficult. There's no set, we see a lot of messages about, on this date this is going to happen, and this disclosure by this date. Stay away from all of that, because that just causes a lot of contraction. Oh, hello Emma. Hello, good evening. That causes a lot of contraction, a lot of pressure around when is it going to happen. And I'm always being told by my guides that it's difficult to say when these things are going to happen, because it's an evolution, right? It's an evolution, it's a process. Just know that we're in this period of humanity, and know that we are absolutely moving forwards. And they also want to share, right now it's flowing through, that there is so much light here on the planet. There is so much light. The light is growing. Consciousness is shifting. There are many, many, many more humans walking the planet now who have increased their level of awareness. This number is going to continue to rise. More people will have spontaneous activations and awakenings. More people will have ongoing ones. Many people will continue. They've already started. They're going to deepen their awareness. Powers are growing. And they're showing me that, so like imagine this like kind of cloud, and there's a lot of darkness and smoke and heaviness, and there's a lot of low vibration energy here on the planet. It's heavy, but there's like a pouring in of light, and we cannot reverse that. So it's so strong. And and they're saying again, there's never been a time where so many have collectively chosen to be present at the same time with the pure focus and intention of creating a world of a much higher frequency, much higher. much higher. And this is where we're going to be able to be in receipt and benefit of some really much more higher frequency ways of living. So we're going to see a lot of changes in the production, the way, and a nudging back into a lot of what was our ancient wisdom. So growing food, production, we're all becoming more conscious again, saying this is more returning to what we were, being aware of what we're eating, how we're eating, the products we consume, the ingredients in things, right? In anything that goes into our body, the way that we do things, the power systems, the true nature behind organizations and structures. All of this is coming through. So if you know this, you can stay out of fear. And it's okay if you feel it every now and then. No, we all sometimes have that hit of, oh my God. But if we can come out of that vibration of fear more often than not, and really tap into that belief and remembrance that there is so much good. And if any of you are watching this later on the replay and you feel like, oh, I can't see it, just know that you're perhaps not looking in the right place, and maybe the messages and the people that you're connected with are feeding you a different story. It's just whatever it's literally like, which channel are you tuned into? If you watch the horror show on your TV, you're going to just watch horror and think everything's frightening. If you watch comedy, you're going to see the lightness. If you watch more romantic stuff, you're going to see more love. Like it's whatever you're personally tuned into, and that's all it's ever been. It's always been about that. There's so many changes, so many shifts. So just know that there is so much here. We are doing it. We really are. So yes, Darren, sit back, watch, listen, know the truth, relax, be ready, prepare. Perfect. Yeah. And they are waking up daily. Yeah. And you've been changing your food. Yeah. I've seen your posts and stuff. So you've been doing the keto diet, cleaner food, helping loads. Yeah. A lot of people are feeling the pull to, as part of the shift in their vibration, in their frequency, changes in diet is a big one. Yeah. So Emma, so much came through for me yesterday. Everything is moving so incredibly fast. Yeah, I know you're going through so many changes. And so even there, talking about fear, even if it's positive, we're going to get that fear come up around the change, which we've spoken about, right? The uncertainty. Sometimes we don't realize we're in fear. It's okay. Just know that this fear is going to come up sometimes, but choosing to see it and becoming more conscious of it means that you're not unconsciously plugging into it, and then it's going to drag your frequency down, right? But understand that it's okay. Some of you, are feeling fear from the changes. Changes are great. They're magical and expansive, but sometimes they're scary. And sometimes it's the fear of the unknown, and it's the fear of the uncertainty of life and what's coming next, right? Yeah. And Darren's saying we need fear as part of the process. Yeah. Yeah. And a fear is a response that keeps us alive. Let's remember, right? We need that. That's like a natural, intrinsic, like it's a survival thing. Sometimes we feel that fear, but there's a difference between it being a part of the process and being so tapped into fear all the time because you're being weighed down, because a lot of people are, right? Weighed down by the stories. They're just stories. If you don't like the stories, change the stories, right? And look elsewhere. So just a reminder, it's nothing new in this live stream, but it just felt like that was an important thing to share today, because there's a lot of stories going around, a lot of things. Yeah, fight or flight. Yeah, there's a lot of things going around. There's a whipping up. Sometimes I feel there's an energy of like whipping up the population again, certain things as the weather shifts and all sorts of things. So remember to keep it light. Remember, we need to see the dark. We need to see the bullshit in order to change it. But we also want to shift our focus as well and bring in things to keep it light. Like today, I felt a lot of collective energy, got my own shifting happening again, not the easiest in the body, in the physical body. So I felt like today I've just wanted to switch off from a lot of it, and just take my mind off completely. Just been like watching like episodes of something and just been very relaxing today, just because I felt like the physical body's going through shifts. So this might be for you as well. When your physical body's going through different shifts, sometimes you just gotta really let yourself relax, right? And just breathe and not take it so seriously, even though it is, it's humanity shifting. And let's not take it so seriously, because it's not all on our shoulders, and we're here. Just being present is helping. just being present right here in this space, you are helping the world. And I know that some of you will get that, some of you are still tapping into that idea, but it's the truth. The actual presence of you is doing a huge service to the world. So that's all I wanted to share. Oh, thank you, Darren. Love your live streams. They just make me feel, think, interact, love. Oh, I love that. That's made my day, because I love that. I really love that. It's kind of why I want to show up, right? To kind of connect and create these feelings. So thank you. I love that. I love that you said that. Emma, really fucking scary right now. Yeah, with my ridiculous life-changing decision, but trusting the process. What I'm feeling right now is massive awareness, self-awareness. Today's been like that for me too. Yesterday I announced I'm closing my business on my live sale. Oh wow, did you announce it? That's amazing. It would also have been my dad's birthday yesterday. Really fucking emotional. Yes. So, oh, send you so much love. Congratulations on announcing that, because I know that you were going to do that. I didn't know when. Wow, that is incredible. Whew, so take a big breath. Ground, yeah, you know the message. Ground, 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 breathe, and give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to go through these changes. And it is okay to feel scared. Yeah, this is a different kind of, this kind of fear is different. This kind of fear is not because you're being bombarded by outside narratives, right? And they're not true. This kind of fear that you're talking about is the real deal. You're moving energy. You are responding to what's happening in your life, and you're facing it, and you're aware, and you're seeing it, and it's fucking scary. That kind of fear is like the healthy, good kind of, that helps us move. So that's a good, healthy fear, even though it doesn't feel great. But I send you so much love, because you're doing it, and you're taking action, and you're being very conscious of your decisions and how you're doing life. But I know you're not alone on that, because a lot of people are making huge decisions. People have been making huge decisions. God, a lot of that this year, particularly, also last year. So yes, deep breath. Darren says, sending love to you all. Yeah, lots of deep breaths, because there's so much shifting, and some people's lives are unrecognizable, right? Some of you here, some of you watching later, some people's lives are unrecognizable, and it's going to, it's just going to bring up a load of emotion. And emotion's okay. It's really okay. Remember their message, right? Is never you have to be in a high frequency means you have to be happy all the time. Being high frequency includes feeling sad, feeling angry, moving through fear, moving through emotion. That is you anchoring in a higher frequency, because you're feeling stuff. That's what's going to help this whole shift. So yeah. Oh, it was such a beautiful thing. I sobbed. Oh, bless you. My community were incredibly supportive. I bet they were. And I felt so much love. So grateful. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Well done. Give yourself a massive congratulations on that. And some downtime today, right? And just breathe into that fear. Breathe into the changes, right? Yeah, Darren, yeah, your life, yeah, he's saying my life changed on every level in the last 2 years. Could never have imagined this. Yeah. And you're a great, and I love the two of you here on the live stream, because yeah, Darren, yeah, you changed your life massively with it, pretty much in every conceivable way, very quickly, right? You would never have imagined that if you rewound. Let's just go back to 2020, right? You would never have imagined that this is where you'd be now, having made your choices. So remember, one day, I always say, I said it in my book, one day this will all be in the past. One day you'll be at a future point where all the challenge right now, the fear and the stress and the uncertainty, you will have moved through it, and you'll find yourself, it's behind you, and you would have created it. But most people most people don't have the courage. Often we don't have the courage to actually take the steps. So this is what you're doing, right? Never, yeah, you'd never have imagined it. Exactly. So my ex from Colorado, who I haven't spoken to in 6 years, also emailed me yesterday morning. He said he could feel something was wrong and wanted to make sure I was okay. It blew my mind. Well, that's an interesting phenomenon when that happens, isn't it? Yeah. So just allow yourself to ride that wave, move through it. Darren's embracing fear now. Yeah. I love it. So fear is okay, but the fear I'm talking about earlier was the bullshit fear. It's the fake, what was it, like the produced fear, the deliberately manipulated fear. That's something else. Our own fears that come up, that they have to come up through our body, and that way we face them, we feel them, we transmute them, and then we transcend them. And then we're in this whole other area of life where we're courageous and we start to create things, and we have the belief that we can do it because we've shifted so much. And that's the kind of ripple effects. And then you start to have this amazing momentum, and you have no idea where life's going to take you. We have no idea where our lives are going to be 6 months, a year from now, 2 years from now, right? Even 6 weeks. Yeah, the fake fear is not fear, it's bullshit. Exactly. So I love this conversation. Thank you for joining me, as always. There's so much to say, right? I'm not running out of things to say, because there's always something to say every single day. Yeah, the brainwashing bollocks fear. Exactly. I think we all agree on that. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of the sort of different types of fear we're talking about here. So give yourself a massive congratulations for where you are on your journey, everything you've been through, everything you are going through. Congratulate yourself, honor that. Really and have you honored that? Have you sat down with yourself and gone, bloody hell, well done? Because if you haven't, I suggest you do. If you haven't celebrated that even quietly on your own and just given yourself a cheers and congratulations to yourself for actually doing it, I suggest you do, because you know, we often have to do that for ourselves, really acknowledge and honor. You know, you could have sat there stagnant, but you didn't, right? And if you're someone watching this later on the replay and you're moving through it, congratulate yourself for even allowing yourself, right? Because this is why we came. We didn't come here just to settle. Reminder, we didn't come here just to put up with things. We didn't come here to cut parts of our true nature off. That's why we have to go through the fear and discomfort. It gets so damn uncomfortable. We have to change. We have to make a decision. And that's how we create. So we're doing it. Trust it. So your voice heals, relaxes, helps. I am so glad. I'm so glad that you feel that. Yeah, and it's also because I'm talking, but I'm channeling is what it's like, part channeling, part talking. And I'm learning more about it myself, but there are codes that come through when I channel. So it's my words and my voice, but it's also connected to a higher frequency. So that's why often you can feel, it's more like you can feel the stirring, or it lands on you emotionally. So that's, I'm really glad if you're receiving that, then you're definitely receiving some messages and some energies here, which I am so happy that you are. So thank you for reminding me to congratulate myself. Yes, please do, because it's so easy just to keep going. Whatever you do works for me. Good. So please do congratulate yourself, because we just keep going, and then we forget. And I am always the one that also forgets. So they often remind me, acknowledge this week, acknowledge the steps, acknowledge the things that you felt and thought and shifted. So I pass that on to you as well, all of you, because yeah, you've got to do it. You've got to do it for yourself, and really be damn proud. Have a good look at yourself in the mirror, give yourself a wink, tell yourself how wonderful you are, how proud you are. You might even laugh when you do it, but really relate to yourself in that way now, and you'll have your own back, and you've always got that kind of love right there with you, whether you're living on your own, living with your cat, living with your dog, living with your partner, whatever your situation. We have to be able to give it to ourselves, regardless, right? It's not just because you have a partner, you have that. You've got to do it for yourself. So give yourself a wink, tell yourself well done. You're doing it. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm off to watch something and chill out again and breathe, because I feel like I need to breathe a lot today. There's definitely energies I am picking up in the collective. I know there's a lot happening, so go easy on yourself. Okay, so lots of love as always. Have a great rest of your night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you tomorrow. So feel free to join me anytime. I'm here every day. Okay, your life is awesome, Darren. Good. Love it. Love me. Have down days, but so grateful. Yeah. Down days are human. Down days are human. So I love that you think that your life is awesome. I love it. And you're welcome, Emma. Enjoy your evening. Okay, I'll see you on here tomorrow. See you later.